So today I wanted to talk about macronutrients, which is basic. Maybe when we were in, I don't know, elementary school, middle school, high school, we in our health class we touched a little bit about macronutrients. But I want to go over the basics for I think I just from a perspective of people that are time bound, so busy parents, busy professionals, or people that are looking to get not just knowledge but easy hacks and each easy things that they can implement in their daily lives. So we'll talk about macronutrients from that point of view. So what I will do is, I have I'll just keep talking about it this time without any slides. So maybe you can and this way you can interact better. If you have any questions, you can ask me as well. So I'm looking at the chat too. People in Eddie and Deborah, if you have any questions, like just please interrupt me. So today will be a shorter live because I have a client right after this. But if I don't answer your question, or if I can't answer any if there's any unanswered questions, just message me later after the call too, or even during the call, and then I'll privately answer those questions too. So I think what before talking about macronutrients, I think we should talk about what does nutrition mean, right? Because we throw this word around a lot, like I'm taking care of my nutrition. I want to go over my nutrition. So I actually went to the Oxford Language Dictionary and and found out or found researched the definition. So the nutrition, the meaning is is the following: the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. So essentially, it is nourishment. Nutrition is nourishment for the body via foods we eat. So it's when you think of it, it's like kind of duh obvious, but it is fascinating because we don't really think about how is the body reacting, or how does the body react to the things we eat, what is it doing, how is it making us feel, um etc etc. We kind of take food for granted, and then um, you know, when we're kids, we just eat what the parents give us without thinking. But as we learn more about, what are the main components of nutrition, and why we're eating them, how it affects our body. Hopefully, we can look at our foods that we're eating daily with a different lens, no, which is interesting. Um, so I'm gonna so there's two groups when we talk about nutrition. There's the micronutrients and macronutrients. So those are the two main groups of nutrition, or how we eat, how we nourish ourselves. And you know adequate nutrition is vital if you want our body to be healthy, well maintained, and also the best chances of fighting diseases. um this goes into like prevention, no? How can we have the best opportunity to prevent our bodies from having getting weak, or having um yeah diseases that we don't want, like diabetes, cardiovascular diseases. So I think that's another thing too. It's like, how can we maintain our body, but how can we do things that are preventative, and that's gonna help us live a longer and a healthier life. Hey, Deborah, how is it going? Yeah, I can hear you. I Yeah, I was just no, no, no problem. Just a quick recap of what we're discussing today. We're just going over nutrition, and I'm gonna dive deeper into macronutrients versus and not so much in micronutrients. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about carbs, protein, and fat today. And yeah, it'll be like the first, I would say, let's say 10-20 minutes will be me ranting. But if you have any questions, just interrupt me, okay? And then I would love to answer your questions just to make this a little bit more dynamic rather than me. Yeah. Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'll answer that later, and we can yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good to see everyone back. We missed you. I think Eddie was on the call last week. But yeah, uh, the two Devorah and Deborah that we have, we missed the two Deborahs. Um, and yeah, so I was talking about going back to yeah, why is nutrition important? No, it's to help us keep a healthy body, but also have the best chance of fighting diseases and doing preventative work for our body to function as long and as healthy as possible. And as I said, there's two types, right? Macronutrients and micronutrients. So, you know, micronutrients is not where we get the most energy from. We need vitamins, minerals in much smaller quantities than macronutrients, which is protein, fat, and carbs. But it is still a vital part for our body's function, and most of the micronutrients can be eaten from veggies, plants, and the interesting thing is the colors that we eat in our vegetables are often linked with the type of nutrients you're having. So, for example, if you eat orange food, like I don't know, carrots, orange pepper, that indicates that there's vitamin A. Purple usually mean antioxidants, like think of blueberry. Green means vitamin K, and iron. Red means vitamin C. So, you know, I mean, this is like an example. It's interesting though. But there were the point of this is that we need variety. We need variety of food, and that's why it's so important. I remember when I was in the nutrition lecture of my sports science university degree. I remember the coach specifically telling like nutrition, the variety of food that you're eating is one of the most important thing for athletes to perform well. And you know, and then you hear these like crazy things about, I think, in the World Cup and Norway, the national team of Norway, like they brought a private chef and they shipped tons of food from Norway, um, so that the athletes are well fed and then they're performing at the peak, as so this is yeah, this is really interesting, and thanks for commenting, Deborah. So yeah, so try to eat a variety of food, and then what the rules that the basic rule that I give my clients is try to eat 20. Sorry, I'm having a brain freeze moment. I think it was 20 that I recommended. um, so 20 different types of vegetables and legumes per week. So that's a goal to strive for. And then it doesn't have to be like the one single meal has a lot of variety, you know? You can have meals, different meals with variety. Don't think like in one breakfast you have to have I don't know, 10 variety of food. No, you don't have to think like that. I would say over the week, if you can just think 20 variety of vegetables and legumes, that's a really, really good benchmark to have to like yeah, keep your balanced diet. Because I would say that's the most important thing to do first. Push variety, and that's gonna give you a really, really solid base for your micronutrients, which. Yeah, 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 that yeah. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. You need 4 arms to count all of that, 20 different yeah. No, but I think that's a good point, right? Like, if you have I would say if you have 7 types of different, vegetables on in your salad, well, that's a really good start to your week. Because I'm saying 20 different types in a week, not just 1 day or 1 sitting even. So, yeah, if you're having 7, that's a great start. And and then, but keep in mind, always take my advice to your situation. But these are like general health guidelines, no, that you guys can implement. And I'm just thinking of one client. What she did was like she made an Excel or a Google spreadsheet, and then she actually started to count the type of vegetables and legumes that she was having. So I mean, there's different ways to act on these information. But I think, starting, uh, yeah, starting from, uh, yeah, 25, yeah, 20 times. I think 20 types will be a good starting point. Um, and okay, so, uh, sorry, I just lost the train of thought. So that's micronutrients, okay? And then one thing I was gonna say was that, like, do that first, and then, like, maybe you do a blood test and maybe you're low on iron, then take supplements. That'll be my approach, but, I don't wanna get into that mu too details. So, but this is general advice that I can give you. So going to macronutrients. So macronutrients gives us we need more quantity for this, and these are carb, protein, and then fat. And then these 3 groups, gives you the energies to operate, and, yeah, it's you need it daily to support your daily vital functions. So I'll go one by one, and then, this is I'm just going through, like, really yeah, simple pointers for, the 3 macro groups, no? So let's talk about carbohydrates first, and then I will love to, I'm trying to look at the comments or in both, Substack and school as well, so feel free to, comment. Yeah, so, my carbohydrates. So carbohydrates has a sometimes a bad name because we think, when we're on a diet, let's get rid of carbs, and, that way we will consume less calories, and we'll, reduce our weight faster. So, I mean, reducing carbs is I think one thing that you can do on a weight loss, but it depends on your goal that you have as well. When you wanna gain weight, actually, we wanna increase the carbs so that we can get more energy, during our workout, and we can be in a calorie surplus, which is what Devora is doing trying to do as well, trying to do in the school community. Um, Yes. And then so carbohydrate is the greatest energy source. And one thing that we forget about carbs is, vegetables and fibers. I include them in the carbs group as well. So that plays such a vital role in your gut health, and by providing useful, fiber to the for the digestive tract. And then also it plays an important role in generating brain's serotonin supply. So that's the mood regulating hormone, and it's really helpful for, obviously, concentration as well, because brain needs a lot of energy to focus, for certain tasks. Um, and I would one couple last thing I'll say about carbs is, if you I think it's okay to reduce carbohydrates, but we want to do it little by little, and don't reduce it too much, because too much if you reduce it too much, that'll mean fatigue, mood swing, hard to concentrate. And as I said, like, there's different dietary patterns and diets that work for different people. It's very, very hard to generalize with so many variables, age, gender, what you're what sports you're doing, how active you are. Like for me, sometimes when I need to concentrate, when I have a task that which is more like brain focused and I need to sit on a computer, I don't like to eat too much before that kind of task, because when I eat too much, like it makes me want to like move a lot, but maybe before an exercise, if I know I'm gonna have a workout session, I like to feel myself a little bit more so that I feel energetic in the workouts. And then I would say there's three types of carbs found in nature. So sugar, fiber, and starches. So I'll go over them a little bit later. But the last thing I'll say about carbs, because yeah, I have a shorter time today. There's no such thing as I would say a bad carb and good carb. So in general, carbs, like in their natural form, it's good. Like potatoes, rice, and and you want to be eating yeah, you want to be eating, if you can, like uh sorry, brown rice, whole grain bread, so that you're consuming fiber, as much fiber as possible from the carbs that you're eating. And fruits and vegetables are an excellent source of carbs as well. So with the thing about, you know the carbs you might think of is the carbs that you get maybe from sugary drinks, or carbs that you get from processed candies or chocolate bars. I wouldn't recommend eating those too much. As I always say, 80% good food, whole food, and 20% for fun food. So try to keep that balance. So yeah, that's I would be I'll say the last thing I'll say about carbs. It's not yeah, it's not there's no such thing as good carbs, bad carbs. We want to be eating in the amount depending on the goals that we have. And yeah, fiber comes from carbs, so you want to eat as much vegetables as and fiber rich carbs as possible. Okay, moving on to protein. So why is protein, important? So protein is the building block that is used to form and repair muscle, skin, hair, nails, just an example to name a few. And also, protein enables many of the body's vital metabolic functions as well. So it's vital for repair, vital for your metabolic functions, and every single cell that the body has contains protein. So they form structures of tissues. So, you know, it's yeah, it's very important to have a sufficient protein. And yeah, it 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 you I mean, you don't want to have too much either, but you want to have enough quantity so that you're basically repairing yourself after the workout, etc., etc. So um just I just want to dig a little bit deeper into like what is protein. So proteins can be broken into amino acids. And then the only thing I'll say is, there's I think I have it on the next slide. So there's 9 amino acids, which are called essential amino acids, that your body cannot produce. So this needs to come from diet. And when when you hear someone say, "Oh, this is complete protein," so for example, egg. Egg is has complete protein. What that means is it has all 9 essential amino acids in sufficient quantity to classify as complete protein. And then the tricky thing about, let's say, like vegetarian or vegans, is that um, they often the advice is like um, eat grains and eat vegetables, because what happens is the so for example grains, or sorry, for example beans, they have protein in them, but they're incomplete proteins. So they don't have all the 9 amino acids. So what they need to do, or what if you're eating maybe a more plant-based diet, you wanna focus on variety there as well, so that you're getting different acids with different combinations, so that when you eat them together, you have a uh, complete protein profile from the foods that you're eating. Um, so yeah, so you want to consume protein as much as possible every day as well. Um, and there are some few plant sources that have a complete protein profile. So a complete profile like quinoa, soya, hemp as well. So that those are things that you can mix into your diet as well if you want to increase. Hemp hemp is it's a I think it's a type of it's a no, it's plant. Uh, yeah, it's a plant, and yeah, it's not it's yeah, yeah, no. So hemp, so I I don't consume too much hemp, but yeah, it's a type of, it's one vegetable that you can eat to basically, supplement your, diet. But what I would go for first is the things that you know and you've been eating before. So for me, uh, edamame is also, a complete protein as well. So I would say one type of soybean. And I grew up eating soy. So, I I would always lean on to the foods that you used to eat first, and then try out different, sources of, yeah, tofu is a complete protein as well. Um, yeah, because it's made from soya. Um, yeah, so Uh, tofu, is a great, addition to your food variety too, so you can get the complete protein profile from tofu, and also that'll be adding an extra variety in the diet that you're having. Um, so thanks for the question, Devora. And then moving on to, fat. So fat, just to give you, like, the calorie profile, so 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. 1 gram of carb has 4 calories, but 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So it has a higher calorie content, and you don't, you know, there's a lot of labels like fat-free yogurt, fat-free, you know, and any things that you can find on the supermarket. They try to get rid of the fat to, well, not all of the product, but one way to, I guess, sell more, advertise the product more is to reduce the fat content and whatever what they're trying to sell. But it plays a vital body a function in your body, including the processes such as brain activity, hormone production, and it helps body's absorptions of other nutrients as well. So, but when I say fat, I don't want you to, consume like, uh, fat from French fries. I want you to consume healthy fats, which you can get from, ghee, avocado, um, butter as well. And there's, I would say, uh, we're getting a little bit technical, but there's two types of fat. There's 2 types of main fat, let's just say, saturated fat and unsaturated fat. Um, Usually, you wanna have more unsaturated fat, and unsaturated fats are coming from things like olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, fish oil, nut oils. Um, it also includes flax seeds, walnuts. Those are, oh, and then fish is a a great source of fat as well, both including omega-3, omega-6. So those are kind of fat that you want to be taking in your diet. And of course, it depends on the goals that you have as well. If you're trying to reduce calorie intake and you want to lose weight, um, you know, not eating nuts could be one of the things that you can do to reduce the calorie content. Uh, for example, I think I told you this before, but I had a Spanish client that loved, olive oil and nuts. Those are great source of fat, and you need them. But if you over consume them, you're not going to lose weight because the calorie content is quite high in those things that I just mentioned. Um, and then lastly, fibers, right? So this I consider it together with carbs, but if we just speak about fiber, um, it's so the simplest form of carbohydrates is glucose. But if you have is fiber is basically it's a part made of long chains of glucose molecules. So glucose molecules put together, and then the small intestine cannot break down these fiber content. So what happens is the fiber passes the small intestine, it goes to the large intestine, and it gets, you know, digested there, and it keeps the digestive system healthy, good working and in good working order. And also it fiber helps, regulate the blood sugar levels as well. And it feel makes you feel fuller for longer. So that's why I keep telling everyone that we want to combine all the macronutrients group plus fiber when we have a meal, right? So, you know, through through the lens of, okay, do I have healthy fat in my food? Do I have protein? Do I have carbs? Do I have fiber? And then when you have a balanced meal, the blood sugar absorption slows down, your digestion slows down, you feel fuller, um, with the fiber content for that sitting, and then that fullness, carries on as well. And I would say if we're, eating 20 to 20 grams of fiber, that's a good benchmark to have to keep the gut function healthy, to keep you full for longer, and to help you hit that 20 variety of vegetables and legumes per week as well. Oh, and then yes, yes, please, please, please. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you have okay. Okay, so your doctor told you to consume psyllium, and then you're having, like, digestive, I guess, challenges, not like bloating and maybe not yeah, not feeling good in the gut. Um, I would say, like well, yeah, for sure, okay, Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. No, sure. Yeah, like gut health is very hard. You know, now that we're being open, like for when I was in Gartner, my previous job, I had severe bloating, and then I felt very gassy. If you, is one way to put it. And I wasn't having like constipation, but I was just like bloated every meal I had. So one thing I did was, I didn't do a sensitivity test, but I did what, you know, dietitians sometimes recommend of like, so like reducing the type of food that you're having. So like I think they call it the elimination diet, where you get rid of lactose. So lactose is one of the big culprit of like bloating, and then you feel like you see how you feel, and then you get rid of I don't know, gluten. Gluten is another one as well. So these are like things that you can do to basically see how your body reacts. So I remember doing some, because I know I'm not I know I love rice, and I feel good when I eat rice, including my gut. So sometimes I'll have rice and I don't know, chicken. No, okay, I'm feeling good. So I will add another ingredient: rice, chicken, and broccoli. So you're eliminating the things that you're eating, and then you're slowly adding them back. So that first you're giving a rest to your gut. Maybe gluten was the cause of inflammation, so I'm giving a rest from eating bread or pasta. You know? And then that helped me figure out that like when I'm not gluten intolerant, but when I eat a lot of pasta, or a lot of what else has gluten? I can only think of pasta now, but then I get, bloated. Wheat as well. Yeah, so bread, like pizza, I get bloated. But when I have controlled amounts, I feel fine. So that's something that I figured out from eliminating the things that I was eating, and then adding them back to see how my gut reacts. And I was gonna say, um yeah, like some people, because there were we spoke about adding protein to your diet, no, because we wanted to gain weight, we wanted to eat more to gain weight. So stomach, if we eat more, like the stomach needs to work harder as well. So maybe like when you were trying to add like protein, maybe we went too fast, or we added too much food in, and then your stomach was not used to digesting so much food. I mean, I'm just like thinking out loud. So, uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, thanks for, I love that you're sharing this, because yeah, so um yeah, so Deborah was saying the portion size could be a dilemma, no? When you're trying to add on weight, but you feel maybe sluggish or bloated, and you don't want to feel like taking a walk after. So these are all everything that kind of I went through as well. And um what was it, there's a couple of things that came to my head. Walking after a meal actually helps your digestion as well. So that's what you want to be doing if you can after every meal, like some light movement, which will help the digestion. Also, if if our goal is to gain more weight, we want to be eating like calorie dense food. And again, take this with a pinch of salt. But for example, like if I want to have more calorie and put not so much stress on my stomach, for me, I found out, putting more olive oil is an easy way to get more calorie, but not working my stomach too hard. So there's ways to judge yeah, there's ways to consume more calorie but not put too much stress on our stomach, no? And then so another thing that comes to my mind is like um raw vegetables, like uncooked vegetables, are harder to digest for our stomach. So so for example, like what you know when I think of uh, salad, when I make a salad for myself, or when I want to consume vegetables, I make sure the vegetables are steamed and it's easy to digest instead of eating. Maybe you can have some raw vegetables. So and then for salad, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes frozen vegetables are more fresh than because yeah. Um, Yeah, yeah, you can steam them, and also, what was I gonna say? Yeah. Oh, no problem. So, yeah, so that's another thing as well. Like, oh, I was gonna say, so for vegetables, like the skin has fiber as well, right? But if you sometimes if you consume the skin too much, like for me, I get bloated. So when I want to consume more calories but don't want to get bloated, I'll often peel the skin of an apple, I don't know, skin of a pear, so that I'm consuming the calories and the energy I want from the food, but I'm giving less work to do for my gut, no, so I don't get bloated. So those are yeah, those are the things that you could try to to work around your current condition that you have, right? And that's the same thing with nutrition and exercise too. Like when you have an injury, one like you want to rest for a bit as well so the inflammation reduces, but after that you want to go back to working out around the joints. Maybe your knee hurts, but maybe you can work out your hip joint or your ankle. So that's the same thing with diet, no? We need to find ways to work around um maybe the challenges or the preconditions we have, but still get the goals that we want. And then that's that's the same for I'm going really extreme, but maybe for example, my client is he's type 2 diabetic, and he has this he has his um for him, he needs to make sure he's measuring the exact amount of carbohydrates he's eating, no? And for him to make that work for him is to have the same breakfast every single day. And he makes it work. He knows exactly how many grams of carbohydrates or sugar that's in the bowl of breakfast that he prepares every day, and that's how he manages his the condition he has. And maybe for me, to I want to consume a lot of calories, but it's hard for me to I don't know digest all of the calories or chew on the calories. So maybe I make a juice, no, with a mixer, and then I put everything in there so that it's easier for me to digest, but at the same time consume the amount of calories you're you want to consume. And then that's one spectrum. That's the spectrum for gaining weight, you wanna be eating calories that are easy to eat and digest. And then on the other opposite side, if you wanna lose weight, you wanna be eating things that are high in volume, like vegetable, like lettuce, no? Like, it's hard, it takes time to eat the lettuce because it has so much water content and fiber as well. So yeah, those are things that you can use to balance, work with the the challenges or the conditions that you have, but still try to achieve the goals that, you have. No, super thanks for the question, Devorah. Um, so I would say, um, yeah, I think I blabbed enough. Does anyone, have any questions? Eddie, Deborah, Debs, um, anyone from Substack? No? Good? Okay, no problem. Okay, so Deborah, let me, come back to you with the, what do you call it? The blood. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, okay. So, okay. So you're on um, the website, no? That I sent to you? Let me see. Uh, 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 um, sorry, let me leave